Hello, everyone. My name is Samantha Padilla, and the bill I chose to analyze was AB 2147, the Freedom to Walk Act. A brief history on the bill. On September 30th, Governor Gavin Newsom signed the bill, which allows for cautious jaywalking in California. Jaywalking refers to crossing the street against a light or at an unmarked crosswalk. The bill was presented by Assemblymember Phil Ting of San Francisco. And before the bill passed, police officers used to be able to fine individuals up to $250 for jaywalking. Now they cannot fine or stop someone unless deemed a danger of collision with a moving vehicle by a reasonably careful person. I will discuss the pro and con sides of the Freedom to Walk Act, the positives being encouraging civilians to walk more while also minimizing the racial profiling that comes with police stops, and the negatives being the possibility of more pedestrian deaths, as well as how it could greatly impact drivers. The first pro is more walking. In 2021, the state of California had the highest rate of registered automobiles at a whopping 14,268,528,000. I think we can all agree this number is exceptionally high, and the state of California should want to motivate more people to walk. But something that could be considered is whether there's a sidewalk accessible or how safe they might be, as many jaywalking stops happen on streets where the closest available crosswalk is hundreds of feet away or placed in dangerous location like slip lanes where walkers are wise to avoid them. As we can see in this image, this guy has no sidewalk to walk on and is now put in danger. The second pro is that it would protect citizens from racial and identity profiling. Data from 2018 and 2020 show that Black Californians are more than 4 times more likely to be stopped for jaywalking, while studies also show that in a city like San Francisco, lower income neighborhoods have proportionally less crosswalks than wealthier areas. Additionally, these police stops do more than turn an ordinary and logical behavior into crime. They also create opportunities for police to racially profile. Now, the first con would be that it can increase pedestrian deaths. According to Dor Julian Law Group, 893 pedestrians were killed on California roadways last year, an increase from 26% in 2014. Furthermore, California's pedestrian death rate is almost 25% higher than the national average. Crossing the street at an unmarked crosswalk doesn't always just involve common sense, or the rates of pedestrian deaths wouldn't be so high. It's a matter of both the driver and pedestrians not seeing each other and it being too fast for a reaction time from either party. Now, just because it is decriminalized, I feel that many people will take advantage of that and just start crossing the street without looking both ways because some people don't always use common sense. The second con of the bill is how Californian drivers could be negatively impacted by this decriminalization. While it might not have been the driver's intention to hit a pedestrian, the impact that what this will have on them is irreparable, and it may not have always been in their control. When it comes to larger vehicles, which were the cause for most pedestrian deaths, they may be safer for their own passengers, but they pose greater risks for everyone else on the road. Generally speaking, heavier cars are harder to stop and have more force on impact. Replacing SUVs and larger cars with standard cars could reduce these rates as they are easy to control. Drivers with the larger cars might have difficulty stopping when a pedestrian jumps into the street out of nowhere. And so when we decriminalize jaywalking, this means that more people are going to not feel the need to look both ways, which could danger not only the pedestrian but the driver as well. Because as I said, the impact that this will have on a driver is irreparable for sure. My conclusion is that the Freedom to Walk Act allows for jaywalking without a fine or police stop unless deemed risky by a reasonably careful person, as we reviewed. And the pros of the bill include motivating Californians to leave their cars at home and walk without the fear of being fined. Another pro is that the lower income citizens and those of colors are being protected from being targeted by unlawful profiling. And a con would be that the pedestrian deaths would possibly increase, causing more deaths on California street. Additionally, drivers could be affected as the death rates rise, as it's never intentional and often due to car types or response time. Personally, I don't approve of this bill because I could see most people partaking in jaywalking in unsafe manners. Although we preach to use common sense and always look left and right when crossing the street, many people are very careless and expect to be seen by cars moving too fast to stop for them. And here are my references. Thank you guys for listening. I hope you learned a thing or two today.